Jay-Z's $2.5 million watch shocks hip-hop. What does a $2.5 million luxury watch and a federal gun case have in common? Right now, they're both dominating hip-hop headlines in 2026. On one side, Jay-Z casually stepped out wearing what many believe is the rarest watch ever seen on American soil. On the other, Boosie Badass walked out of federal court a free man after facing serious prison time. Two stories. Two worlds. Let's start with Jay-Z. When it comes to luxury, influence, and quiet flexing, Jay-Z doesn't follow trends. He creates them. For decades, HOV has shown the world what success in hip-hop really looks like. And on January 9, 2026, he reminded everyone once again why his name still carries so much weight. Jay-Z was spotted wearing a Patek Philippe quadruple complication Ref 5308G001, a watch valued at roughly $2.5 million. According to reports from Complex, this is believed to be the first time this exact timepiece has ever appeared in the United States. Let that sink in. This isn't just an expensive watch, it's a museum-level masterpiece. Crafted in white gold, the watch features an icy blue dial that gives it a frozen, almost diamond-like appearance, even though it's completely gem-free. The design is clean, elegant, and understated, yet impossibly powerful. It's paired with a dark blue alligator strap that makes it perfect for high-end formal wear. But Jay-Z doesn't need a tuxedo to make a statement. He wore it effortlessly, letting the watch speak louder than words. The quadruple complication isn't rare just because of its price. It's rare because of what it represents. These watches are produced in extremely limited numbers and are usually reserved for elite collectors, royalty, and global power players. You don't just walk into a store and buy one. You need relationships, trust, and a legacy. In other words, you need to be Jay-Z. The watch made its public debut during a link-up with Fat Joe, and photos quickly spread across social media. Fans immediately noticed what was on Jay's wrist, and the internet did what it always does, went crazy. But this meetup wasn't just about jewelry. Fat Joe currently hosts a popular podcast with Jadakiss, and the two have been trying to land a Jay-Z interview for quite some time. Jadakiss has openly joked that Jay-Z is a professional curver, known for dodging interviews no matter how close the relationship. According to Jada, Jay has told them he genuinely loves the podcast, especially when it's just Joe and Jada talking freely with no guests. Jay even hinted that he'd like to appear one day. Still, Jadakiss isn't convinced it'll actually happen. Fat Joe, however, is more optimistic. And there's a reason for that. The podcast is scheduled to move to Netflix in 2026 as part of a massive iHeartMedia deal, bringing 15 podcast shows to the streaming platform. If Jay-Z ever decides to sit down for an interview, this could be the perfect stage. Jay-Z has always been selective with his appearances. When he does speak, it becomes a cultural moment. Think about his sit-downs with Oprah or David Letterman. Those weren't just interviews, they were events. A podcast appearance with Fat Joe and Jadakiss would be no different. This watch moment perfectly represents where Jay-Z is today. He's no longer chasing relevance. He defines it. A billionaire mogul married to Beyoncé, with businesses spanning music, sports, champagne, art, and technology. And yet, he can still dominate headlines without saying a single word. That's the power of Jay-Z. But while Jay-Z is operating at the highest level of luxury and influence, another hip-hop figure was fighting for something far more basic: his freedom. While Jay-Z was flexing a $2.5 million watch, Boosie Badass was standing in a federal courtroom, waiting to hear a decision that could have changed his life. On January 9, 2026, Boosie appeared in San Diego federal court for sentencing in a gun case that had been hanging over his head for years. Prosecutors were pushing for 24 months in federal prison, followed by 3 years of supervised release. For Boosie, this was serious. Federal gun charges are no joke, especially when you have a prior felony record. Many people expected the worst. But when the judge finally spoke, the outcome shocked almost everyone. Boosie was sentenced to time served, plus 3 years of supervised release, a $50,000 fine, and 300 hours of community service. No additional prison time. Compared to what he was facing, this was a massive victory. To understand why this matters so much, we have to rewind. In 2023, Boosie was arrested during a traffic stop in San Diego. Authorities claimed they spotted a handgun in his waistband during an Instagram Live session. When they pulled him over, multiple firearms were allegedly found in the vehicle. Local authorities initially dropped the case, but federal prosecutors later stepped in. And once the federal system gets involved, things usually don't end well. In July 2024, a federal judge actually dismissed the case, giving Boosie a moment of relief. But that relief didn't last. Prosecutors refiled the charges, making it clear they weren't letting this go. Realizing the risk, Boosie accepted a plea deal in August 2025. That decision likely saved him from years behind bars. At one point, Boosie even spoke about seeking a presidential pardon from Donald Trump. When you're staring down federal time, you explore every possible option. But with this ruling, that pressure disappeared overnight. Boosie walked out of court free. And of course, Boosie being Boosie, he's already back in the mix. He's currently involved in a public back and forth with Kodak Black, after Kodak took shots at him on a new song. Boosie responded quickly and aggressively on social media. Because that's who he is. The difference now. He's handling his beef without prison hanging over his head. These two stories tell us a lot about hip-hop in 2026. Jay-Z represents the ultimate success story. A kid from Marcy Projects who built an empire and now operates in spaces once closed off to hip-hop artists. His watch isn't just a flex. It's proof of how far the culture has come. Boosie represents the other side. The fight, the struggle, the consequences that don't disappear just because you're famous. His story is about survival, resilience, and second chances. Both narratives matter. They remind us that hip-hop isn't one-dimensional. It's luxury and struggle. Legacy and survival, billion-dollar watches and courtroom battles. And in 2026, hip-hop remains the most powerful cultural force in the world. So now the question goes to you. Is Jay-Z's $2.5 million watch inspiring or excessive? And do you think Boosie's sentence was fair? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications for more hip-hop news and deep dives. Until next time, stay informed, stay engaged, and keep supporting the culture.